It's the dream.
Oh! Greetings, my YouTube friends.
Hello.
You're all very welcome to the 4th Rírá Rhymes video. To those of you who are new, you're very welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that you flick back through the other videos that I put up so far. To the people who are on their 4th Rírá Rhymes videos, thank you! You rock, man! You rock! Now, at the end of the last video, I mentioned about if anybody wanted to draw some pictures, or any of the kids out there want to draw pictures and send them in, that I would put them up onto this video. And I'm happy to say that a crew of very dedicated fans from Ballygar, County Wexford, have come through in spades. So, without further ado, here are their pictures. Now, we'll begin with this wonderful picture from Kiva Stedman, who's taken her inspiration from the trolley troll, and as you can see, she's done a smashing job of recreating that. So, Kiva, this is going to get the Rírá stamp of approval. Now, next we've got pictures from Quiva Brown, Dan Walsh, and Orla Wafer, who have all gone for the Panda Saves Christmas for the theme for their pictures. Now, as you can see, none of them were too happy with the fact that Panda was an elephant, and they've all decided that Panda is actually going to be a panda. And that's fair enough, girls. Okay, look, if that's what you want, that's what you get. I'm not going to argue with you about it. You've drawn some really cool pictures here, which you've absolutely smashed. So, Quiva, Dan and Orla, these pictures get the Rírá stamp of approval. When I was about 7 or 8, I was introduced to a comic book series called Calvin and Hobbes, which is about a small boy called Calvin who has a teddy tiger which comes to life when adults aren't around and is his best friend. And together, Calvin and Hobbes would just get up to all sorts of mischief throughout their day. Now, Calvin was a very complicated character who loved to play outside, hated going to school, and above all else had an incredible imagination. Calvin's imagination was really brought to life by the author of these comics, a guy called Bill Watterson, who just had an amazing talent for recreating a child's creative imagination on paper. So much of Calvin's imagination was to do with dinosaurs. To pretend that he was this ferocious dinosaur going through his house or through his garden, just creating mayhem. And if I close my eyes, I can still picture so many of those pictures. And I think that they might have been the inspiration behind the poem that I have for you today. Because when I started writing poems, I knew that I always wanted to write one about a kid who just keeps getting into trouble for pretending to be a dinosaur. So today's poem, inspired by Calvin and Hobbes, is called I Used to Be a Dinosaur. I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed after what happened to the floor. I read about a sauropod, a dinosaur 12 meters tall. This creature was as big as 2 big buses, one of the largest dinosaurs of all. I started imagining I was a sauropod, and my excitement built and built, until I ran into our family garage and grabbed my brother's stilts. Behold the mighty sauropod! I roared to the world from my lofty high-raised view, as I trampled through the garden towards the house, not noticing I'd stepped in poo. I ducked under the door and clunked up the hall, but halted in the living room to the sound of a sudden shriek from my red-faced mum.
What's that on the ground?
I swiveled my head and wrinkled my nose. There'd be trouble now, I knew, because Mum had just bought a lovely new carpet, which was covered in stilt print poo.
Oh no.
Take it easy, Mum. Don't get mad. It's only a bit of sauropod dung.
Get down from there and get a clot!
Screamed Mum at the top of her lung.
Hello.
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed.
Stop playing that, are you crazy?
She did roar. My brother told me about the Pachycephalosaurus. famous for its indestructible head. I mean, this guy had a skull that was thicker than a wall. Basically a battering ram on legs.
Hello.
We started imagining we were pachycephalosauruses, going round with unbreakable crowns. Come on, let's go get the crash helmets on, we shouted, giddy as clowns. Look at us, we're pachycephalosauruses, we roared as we pulled our helmets on. Then we ran into the garden and turned around to face each other across the lawn.
Let's go.
Hey bro, I asked with a wicked grin, how do you reckon these dinos did fight? I reckon they used to smash their heads, when we both nodded that he was right. He lowered his head and sprinted at me. Now there was no turning back. So I bent my head and charged at him until we collided with a splintering crack. We lay on the ground trying to focus our eyes. We had to admit that we felt a bit dizzy.
Stop playing that game! Are you crazy?
Shouted Mum.
Do something else to keep yourselves busy.
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm absolutely banned from playing dinosaurs again indoors. I saw a video about the Triceratops, whose eyes were on the side of its head,
Hello.
so that when it was eating, it could look around and watch out for nasty predators instead. I started imagining I was a Triceratops, who had these long, sharp, pointy horns.
Ouchie.
I wondered if there was anything in the garden that was long and sharp as thorns.
Ouchie.
So I searched about and beneath our tree found a pile of old jagged sticks, which I stuck in my hair and checked my reflection. That's it! They've done the trick! The Triceratops was always eating, so I'm hungry, I decide. So I focus my eyes in opposite directions, then head for the kitchen inside. It's pretty hard to know what's in front, with both eyes looking in different ways. And my pointy horns, they knock from a shelf, a big pile of Mum's baking trays.
Oh no! What's that crash? What's wrong with your eyes? And what have you got in your hair? Stop playing in here and go outside.
Screams Mum.
You'll be the death of me, I swear!
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed, because of the flowers she used to pay for. My sister told me about the ornithymomus. Now this dino really packs some power. The ornithymomus was the fastest dino of all. It could run up to 40 miles an hour. I started imagining I was an ornithymomus, and a look with my sister was exchanged.
Hello.
The fastest dinosaur to live, she mused. I think that could be arranged. 20 minutes later, I had my roller skates on, and a rope gripped tightly in my hand, the other end of which was tied to my sister's bike, exactly as we had planned. Go! I roared, and she kicked away, pedaling furiously down our street. I was flying now. I was zooming along, faster than any ornithymomus athlete. But a car was coming and panic took hold because I didn't know how to stop. So I jumped to the path to get off the road, but I rolled straight through our neighbour's flower crop.
Goodbye.
My roses, he wailed. My lilies, he yelled. My beautiful chrysanthemums. You've ruined them all, you little brat. That's it, I'm calling your mum.
Oh no!
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed to fly again or soar. My friend showed me a picture of a pterodactyl,
Hello.
which immediately made me smile, because pterodactyls were dinosaurs who flew.
Well, technically they were a flying reptile.
I started imagining I was a pterodactyl that swoops and dives and swings. Come on, I hollered to my pal, let's go make me some wings. We raced to my family's workshop and grabbed wood, string and an umbrella, which we lashed together and stuck to my arms. Now I had wings, a proper pterodactyl fella. I climbed up onto the roof of our house, steadied myself at the edge and whispered a prayer.
Let's go.
Then let out a squawk like a pterodactyl would and launched myself right into the air. I flapped my wings like crazy, but alas, they did not work.
Oh
and I plummeted through the sky in the blink of an eye and crashed into our garden hammock.
Uh-oh.
Goodbye. Did you see that?
Mum gasped from the kitchen window.
Something fell from the sky so blue. Wait, hold on a minute. What have you got on your arms? Those wings? Are you crazy? It was you.
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed. She's had to make 3 trips to the grocery store. I browsed a website about a brontosaurus. Now this dino had an appetite, I have to say.
Yummy.
Because it was so huge and only ate plants, it had to eat a whole busload of leaves a day.
Yummy.
I started imagining I was a brontosaurus, as big as a house with a tremendous weight, who roamed around the forests all day and ate and ate and ate. I galloped round our house to gather up pillows, then stuffed them up my jumper to give myself a big belly. Then I lumbered to the kitchen and opened the fridge while Mum was distracted by the telly. I climbed on a stool to make myself big, then began by chomping the chocolate eclairs. Then when they were gone, I wolfed the vegetable pie, then the apples, tomatoes and pears. But I didn't stop there. No brontosaur would. I gulped down the blueberry jam, so yummy.
Yummy.
Then the cakes, the yogurts, the fruit salad delight, and the ice cream, all in my tummy. But I didn't notice my mum arrive.
You've emptied the fridge. There's nothing left to eat. What are the rest of us supposed to have now? That's it. No treats for you for a week. Oh
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed after I ruined our interior decor. I watched a documentary about a Therizinosaurus, which really gave me reason to pause, because the Therizinosaurus was like a huge feathered bird with really long razor-sharp claws.
Ouchie.
I started imagining I was a Therizinosaurus, with claws half as long as a man. Now I'd be lying if I said my fancy wasn't tickled, and yep, you guessed it, I came up with a plan. I roamed round our house and ransacked every room, until I collected up all the scissors, which I stuck to my fingers with the stickiest of tape to transform myself into a terrifying lizard. I felt a crazy energy as I gazed at my new claws, then began to pretend I was under attack by a ravenous pack of snapping velociraptors. Oh no! I had to fight back! I sliced and diced and flashed and dashed as I stabbed my claws about. There would be no velociraptor eating me today, of that there was no doubt.
Stop!
Screamed Mum.
Look what you've done! You sliced straight through the painting! And the curtains, and the couch, they're ruined! Oh my god, I feel like fainting! Oh no.
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says she's not getting in the pond again to rescue me and drag me ashore. I saw a stegosaurus at the museum, a dinosaur that was as tough as nails, because this impressive beast had spiky plates growing out from its back and tail.
Hello.
I started imagining I was a stegosaurus with plates sticking out of my back, then suddenly got an idea to find some tiles and stick them onto an old coal sack.
Let's go.
To the workshop I dashed, where I was delighted to find a pile of old plastic sacks, and right beside them lay some broken roof tiles which I stuck on with sticky glue tack. I am Stegosaur! I roar, climbing into the sack, delighted that my outfit was done. But I couldn't really walk. It was too hard to balance because the roof tiles weighed a ton. I staggered shakily across the garden, trying to walk straight, but my body wouldn't respond. I was being dragged to the right. My spikes were too heavy, and with a splash, fell straight into the pond.
Another fact about the stegosaur,
Remarks Mum, arriving to rescue her son.
its brain was the size of a nut. The dumbest dino of all. You really nailed that part today, kid. Well done.
I used to be a dinosaur, but I'm not one anymore. Mum says I'm not allowed if I'm gonna go around acting like a wild boar. I've always known about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, come on now, who doesn't? When it comes to who the boss of the dinosaurs is, there really is no discussion. They stood as big as a double-decker bus, with a mouthful of wicked teeth 30 centimetres long. They were clever and ruthless and vicious on the hunt. They were faster than you, their legs so strong. I started imagining I was a Tyrannosaurus Rex as I growl and pull in my arms. Then I began to swish my big powerful tail. Everyone watch out or you're gonna get harmed. If I was a T-Rex, what would I do?
Hello.
My stomach answers, I haven't eaten today. So my T-Rex brain gives a simple command. It's time to go hunt some prey. I get low to the ground and creep inside, where in the hallway I spot my mum. So I let out a terrifying T-Rex bellow and bite down hard, right on her bum.
Ow!
She howls as she bats me away.
Why do you have to play so rough?
I'm a T-Rex, Mum, I meekly reply.
No more dinosaurs! I've had enough! Oh no.
I really love playing dinosaurs, but there's no more of Mum's patience to borrow. But then again, she loves me no matter what I'll do. So maybe I'll be a dinosaur again tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Any parents watching, please take note. Rírá Rhymes accepts no responsibility for any kids who watch this video and try and bite your bum because they're pretending to be a dinosaur. Funny enough, that pond incident in the poem, that one actually happened. Not quite in the same way. I never actually put on a big sack full of heavy roof tiles and then couldn't balance and fell into the water. But I was at a friend's birthday party once as a kid, and he was chasing me through his garden when I'd never been to his house before, and I'd no idea that there was a pond in the middle of his garden. So I kind of did a kind of a ninja jump over, I can't remember, a slide or something, and landed straight in the middle of the pond, much to everyone's hilarity. Everyone laughed at me. I got no sympathy at all, and I got soaking wet. So, but I'm not bitter about it. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Just like the last time, if anybody would like, if any of the kids want to draw a picture and send them in, it's been great to get the ones I got so far. It's been great crack, and I've loved getting them. So please do, if anything at all sort of piques your curiosity or piques your imagination, you want to draw it down, please do and email it on to this email address. Also, I would highly recommend any of you kids who wanted to discover something new to read, that you give Calvin and Hobbes a go. They're really, really funny, really adventurous, but quite sweet as well. It's all the story of a kid and his best friend, a tiger. They're just lovely. They're lovely pieces of work, and I think any kid who picks it up is going to absolutely love it. So, having said all that, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you all on the next Rírá Rhyme.
Goodbye.